which I still have, but he's fallen to bits now. And this was when he asked me to form a club for mothers to pass on this wonderful news that their children are not dead. They've just gone on before them. And so this is what I did. But over the years we had the most wonderful experiences. We saw a transfiguration, which was wondrous. Materialisation, we didn't see the usual kind with ectoplasm, but we saw the energy. And how can you describe energy? It takes a physicist surely to describe that. I mean, I can't describe energy other than it was like flashing lights.
And let me get this clear. So from there, like this field of energy, it was like a field of energy that was flashing. You actually had forms developing within that.
Well, without actually standing there, you could see the forms standing there. But this didn't happen every night, don't get me wrong, it only happened occasionally. They would say to us first, the spirit people would say, now sit still, we're going to try an experiment. And this is, we'd sit still like this, you know, all agog waiting. And then this wonderful happening would occur.
Were there many people at these sittings when,
well, most nights when I was there may be about 5. You see, we had to come home every Sunday night. Sometimes I'd stay up there for a week, and then Alf would come up. We went up most weekends. But it graduated from then on into more and more wonderful things.
Tell us about that.
Well, we had times when we had this wonderful opera singer would come and sing to us, and we used to duet together, which was absolutely a wonderful thing that happened. And she would come and hold Alf's hand and hold my hand and sing to us.
Did she look physical, or how did she...
Well, when you held her hand, you could tell it was a dainty lady's little hand, and she actually showed us her little dainty toe shoes, little, you know, the sort of thing they wear now. And when you danced with her, as Alf did and my eldest son did, they put her hand on their shoulder so they could sway like this in time to the music, and they could feel her hair and see the gossamer silk of her dress. And she lifted her arms up. In the energy, was all the energy filled with all this lovely lace.
Gwen, do you realise how fantastic this sounds?
Yes, I do.
People are watching this programme, and you've experienced this. It sounds fantastic.
It is fantastic, it's wondrous.
How physical did the forms become eventually? How?
As real as you.
As real as me. Now, we've heard this before. We've heard it right through this video, that these forms were as physical as I am.
Yeah.
And that if you held hands, it would be like holding hands with
yes,
me, or
that's
me holding
right.
hands
Yes,
with
it is exactly how it was.
That must be such an experience.
It is an experience. It literally blows your mind.
Yes.
You have to be sort of prepared for it, I think.
Yes. Well,
I think we were.
You were telling me earlier on about, I think it was a friend of yours that, maybe it was your eldest son, was it?
Yes, our eldest son.
That actually attended one of
yes,
these
he
sittings
attended his first one.
And left the room saying, what is going on in there?
Oh my God, he said, what's going on in there, Mother?
Yeah, that's the sort of reaction.
Yeah, I mean, it literally does this to you. At first. But as we've always said, Alf and I, we never ever became complacent about it. We always thought upon it as something really wondrous, didn't we? There was no other way, you know. We couldn't just be complacent about such a wonderful thing happening. And he used to come and sing to us, and we'd have duets together, and he'd be dancing around the room, and he'd be racing around the room in a pair of shoes with luminous paint on them. And so you'd see these little feet running around the room. And he was so funny, Russell. He was funny when he was on Earth, and obviously still funny.
You must bring tremendous comfort to your Pink Panther ladies and gents that have lost children.
Well, this is what I was told to do. He asked me to do this, so I've done it, and I think I do, yes. Yes, I do.
So when did the physical phenomena stop then, Gwen? What?
Well, the last time we went was 1989, and that was the last one. And we'd witnessed wonders over the years. And he came that night as a man, which floored us both, actually. It wasn't this boy's voice speaking, it was this young man's voice speaking.
Which you're suggesting is that
Who's grown up.
that in the next world,
Yes.
in spirit,
Yeah.
in the etheric,
Yes.
all these ways that we describe this next world, that he continues to mature
Yes.
as he would have done
Yeah.
on Earth.
But there's no old age. They only reach maturity roughly about 35, I'm told.
Is that right?
When we talked, we asked him.
Yes. Did you ask a lot of questions about that?
Oh, thousands.
Yeah. What was your main impression? What was the impression that you got about the other world which was strongest and clearest?
Well, only in my opinion, it's just another step on from this one, and it's a sort of a similar world, except it's not physical. This is the piece that people find hard to grasp, don't they?
Well, this is again what comes through in the new science of, for instance, Ron Pearson, who we spoke to earlier in the program, that he's saying that actually these are worlds within worlds.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I believe.
And that these worlds could be interacting in this room as we're speaking. It's very,
Yes.
very difficult to comprehend.
It is, and yet
But you've had actual evidence of
yeah.
that.
But you need a physical medium for it to happen. This is the problem. There aren't that many around.
No, and it was very interesting when we were talking earlier, and we're not going to talk about names of mediums and things for fairly obvious reasons, but you were saying that there's no great benefit in this to the actual deep trance medium because they don't remember anything.
Well, they wake up after about 4 or 5 hours in trance, and everyone's excitedly talking about the wonders that have happened, and they've seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're just sitting there longing for a coffee.
Yes. Do you agree that the medium really is the person that just sorts out the wavelengths?
Yes, oh yes, they've got the chemicals, I believe, but then, see, I don't understand all the scientific side of it, and I'm pleased I don't really, because it isn't my thing.
Yes. And you've written this, your book is entitled Russell.
Yeah.
And you was telling me that's taken nearly 30 years?
I started it in 1964, and I had to wait for the ending. And the last time we were there in 1989, he said, Mum, as a young man he spoke, he said, Mother, I promise you that I will give you the ending through someone, somehow. And he obviously knew that was the last time. And it came through one of my mothers.
Oh, wow.
As a young man explaining about his passing into spirit and what he wanted to do now, his work over there in spirit, with all the gang of young men, mostly young men, his gang. There's only one girl amongst them, two actually.
Something else which is close to my heart, Gwen, that you mentioned that Russell has communicated to you that he's now actually involved in work.
Yeah.
Which is centering around explanations for the sort of phenomena which took place.
Yes, it's telling me all about it.
Telling you how it worked.
I mean, I don't, as I said before, I don't understand it, but to read it is quite interesting, more than interesting.
You don't understand.
I don't understand it at all.
He's using at all.
No.
It's amazing. I mean, you're talking to you're talking to me as if your relationship is still going on with your
Oh,
son.
it is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's never stopped. It's never gone anywhere, just out of my sight. I mean, your other children move away and marry, don't they? But he's just grown up in maybe like another country, let's put it like that.
That's a lovely way of putting
Well,
it.
it's the only way, really, isn't it? It is another country, but it's just out of our sight.
Can you imagine, Gwen, the sort of comfort that this interview will give to people that have just lost their children or loved ones? And also in your book, Russell, this is an enormous source of strength to people.
Yes.
And I'm really very, very grateful that you've given me the time to talk to you today and share that hope.
Thank you very much.
Gwen Byrne, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Alf, you were also privileged to experience this extraordinary phenomena in, where was it now? Was it in Manchester?
In the Midlands, yeah.
In the Midlands,
Yeah.
would you say in the Midlands? Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you react to all this?
Well, my initial